Now, we all must have heard about the devastating news that occurred a couple days ago on the 14th of April. Our beloved president, Abraham Lincoln, was shot by John Wilkes Booth in Ford's Theater in Washington, D.C. He later passed away in the nearby Peterson House the very next day.
Poor family, such a tragic event. In my opinion, I think Booth has something against Lincoln, or Booth had his disagreements with him, which still doesn't give him a legitimate reason to kill him. But as you know, there are crazy people out there. We are always in danger.
Actually, I think that Jefferson Davis was a part of the whole assassination. I mean, he is the president of the Confederacy, and Abraham, he's the president of the Union. So I think this would lead many people to think that Davis orchestrated the whole act, fueled by his anger and resentment for Abraham.
I disagree. I fail to believe that the president of Confederate States would stoop so low to create a plan to murder the president of the Union. No matter how much Davis may hate Lincoln, I don't think he would kill him just to win the Civil War. Think about the people of the Union, and his own people would think about Davis. Think about the Union, what would they do to him?
Okay, well anyways, now we go back to Tyler Baines, who is currently with Tad Lincoln, the son of the 16th President of the United States. Tyler?
Thank you, Rosabella. Now I'm here with Tad Lincoln, the youngest of President Lincoln's sons, who recently found out about the death of his father. Tad, how did you feel when you were informed about the passing away of your father?
During the time of my father's assassination, I wasn't allowed at the Peterson house with my grieving mother and dying father. Although I was brought to the White House by my doorkeeper and I stayed there empty, alone, and without explanation. I can recall hearing the dreadful news about my pa the next morning at 8 a.m. I felt the same pain as when my brother Willie had died. I felt and still feel as if my family is neglecting me at this despairing time. For not once my mother Mary or my older brother Robert came to me for comfort.
Thank you for your insight, Tad. Katie, Rosabella, back to you guys.
What a sad story. My gosh, if that were to happen to me, I don't know what I'd do. I mean, imagine that, your father dying without you even knowing it, and when you finally find out, you can't even go see him? Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, this is a huge problem, and something must be done. Booth should be punished for his actions, and it needs to happen as soon as possible. I can't even imagine how Tad must be feeling right now. It also takes a lot of courage to talk about this kind of material on national TV. This kid's definitely special.
I agree. Tad Lincoln is a very promising child, and I'm looking forward to what he can accomplish for the United States in the future. Now we cut to Tyler, who is ready for another interview. Tyler?
Thanks, Katie. Now I'm here with Mary Lincoln, who is now a widow, who's still trying to recover from the trauma that came with the assassination of her dear husband. Mrs. Lincoln, feel free to share your input on the situation.
Well, I can still remember. I can still remember having my husband's blood stain on my dress. I ran into the Peterson house frantically shouting, going absolutely ballistic. I can still see the way he was lying on Clark's bed, lifeless. My husband was placed on a common bedstead while he was covered in an army blanket and a wooden coverlet lay. Though I myself didn't have many friends, I called the only 4 women I knew: Elizabeth Dixon, Elizabeth Keckley, Mary Jane Wells, and Gideon Wells. The crazy thing is, my dearest Abraham once told me that he had a dream, a horrible nightmare he had a few days before his assassination. He told me that in his dream he heard many mournful cries and sobs, though when he looked around there was no one to be seen. He heard only the same pitiful sobbing, but the mourners were invisible. He had searched around the building and wound up at the East Room, where he met a corpse lying on the catafalque. This is the part that shook me to the bottom of my very core. In his dream, my husband had asked the surrounding soldiers as to who it was dead on that platform. It was the president. The president had been assassinated. It was him who was dead on that catafalque. This nightmare of his had truly turned into a reality. And sadly to say, I never once believed in dreams until my very own husband's nightmare had actually come true.
Wow, what a story. I'm so sorry to hear that about your husband, Mrs. Lincoln. Well, back to you, team.
Thanks, Tyler. I had so much respect for Mary Lincoln, but after this event, I respect her even more. She's evidence of how strong and capable women are. This is an extremely hard stage in her life, and the way she endures and perseveres through all the pain and suffering truly inspires me. I really look up to Mrs. Lincoln, and I think that all women should try to step up and strive to be just like her.
I'm definitely on the same page on that one. I mean, it is truly amazing how she can put all her power all besides that trouble. If that were to happen to me, I would never be able to handle the situation like Miss Lincoln did. I think this attitude just about sums up the American spirit. No matter how many times we fail or things that don't go our way, we get back up and improve. That's what sets America apart from other nations. Mary Lincoln, you are one of a kind.
I really hope that things start to go right for her from here, and that she can do great things in the near future. A person like her can achieve so many awesome things, and I am so looking forward to what she can do. Now we go to Tiana Timberlake, who is currently with Dr. Charles Leo. Tiana?
Thanks, Rosabella. And wow, Mary Lincoln really is amazing. But now I'm here with Dr. Charles Leo, who actually treated Mr. Lincoln as he was slowly dying and was the first doctor to come to his aid. Doctor, if it could have not been easy treating the president, but how was the experience like for you? Please elaborate on that.
Well, first of all, as soon as I saw Lincoln early on April 15th, I knew he was a goner. I was in command of that little group escorting Mr. Lincoln, and I can easily recall asking for the best room and being disappointed when they gave me the smallest one. I then ordered the bearers to carry Mr. Lincoln into the room and lay him on the bed. Boy, you should have seen the look on Mary Lincoln's face when she walked in. I had to escort her out of the room. Also, I was asked to place him in a carriage to the White House, but I knew that was a bad decision, for he would have had to be in an upright position, causing him to bleed out. I knew I made the right call, but I feel as if even though I truly tried my best and hardest right then and there to keep our president alive, it just still wasn't enough. And for that, there will forever be the feeling of guilt and sorrow within me.
It must have been very sickening to watch the president go like that. I also just want to assure you that it was not your fault, so please don't be hard on yourself. Katie, Rosabella, back to you guys. Imagine carrying that kind of burden, treating the president and trying to keep him alive, but he ends up dying anyways. Although it definitely wasn't his fault, he must have felt very guilty for not being successful. It truly is a sad story.
Yeah, you're right, because if that were me, I would never be able to go out in the public ever again. I'd feel so guilty that no matter how many times people would tell me that I'm not, I'd still feel bad. Dr. Leo, he had the courage to step up and share his input on the story. Now that I think about it, America really has some amazing people.
And also some crazy evil people like John Wilkes Booth, and all this trouble and despair from one man's actions. How upsetting.
Anyways, it looks like our time's up. We come back soon at 7 p.m. for the evening news. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. Have a great day, and God bless America.